Number 8, staffing at Clint School.
With that in mind, and I don't want anybody to take this personal, it's just a matter of fact that Clint School is always going to be an isolated situation as best. A lot of people don't like to go across the mountain. And it's been time and time again that we have been unsuccessful in our ability to fill teaching positions over there. And I've addressed this to Mr. Hickson. These students, Clint, need a teacher in front of them, and they don't need them on a television screen. Therefore, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that this board approve a stipend for all classroom teachers at Clint School in an effort to secure teachers in every position necessary for those students to get all the requirements needed K through 12 at $10,000 per year as long as the school exists.
We have a motion, we have a second. Is there any further discussion?
It can come out of the undesignated fund balance. It can go from where, well, as a matter of fact, we get the small school funds every year that is supposed to be used for recruiting and retaining teachers. I think that's part of the script in it. I don't know exactly how much the money is. It's over $600,000, I know that. So that money, part of that money can come from there, redistributed, or whatever the case may be to make up for that. What we got, as I understand it, we got 15 teachers at Clint.
We have 21.
Huh?
21.
What did he say?
21.
21. What are they?
We've got elementary, K-5, and we've got middle school, and then we've got one for each subject. We were successful in hiring science, math, music this summer. We're still looking for art and foreign languages.
Okay, so you got, basically you've got, how many are there? The most teachers are at high school and middle school level, right?
If you combine middle school and high school.
Yeah. So how many are those? Is there? So that means if you're saying that, then you've got 16 teachers, middle school and high school.
15, 16 between middle school and high school.
Okay. All right. You'll be reading out.
Give a stipend to the teachers that are hired.
Yeah, the class for each classroom teacher at Clint Hospital, at Clint School. Right.
Because they're having.
The thing about it is you know, if we can't get teachers to go over there and accept positions in that school for what they would make ordinarily, then I think the system has to do something to entice those teachers to go. I mean, Clint School is 20 minutes from my house on a rainy day. If I get behind a slow truck, and I mean, and I think that we got to do something to get teachers to go to Clint School, or that school's going to pass away. And I mean, I'm going to say this, and it's not about the money, it's about the kids getting what they need. Because our high school students at Clint, are they not required to have as many credits to graduate as they are at volunteer and Cherokee? I mean, my goodness sakes alive. How difficult it is, because we know that we know other than virtual academy, which is a different animal than virtual schooling, if you will, it didn't work. It didn't work.
I would like to talk about the small schools. Is 85% of that, 80 to 85% embedded across our salary scale. So when we got that several years ago, almost a decade plus ago, and Mr. Qualls was involved in that at the state level, when we did get that in Tennessee, in small schools, that money was given to each district at each LEA to assist with teacher salaries, staff salaries in rural school systems, small school systems. Most school systems, us included, wove 80 to 85% of those coming through the salary schedule, so they help pay for all of our staff. The remaining is what we supplement to you partially in our differentiated pay plan and other things. And we did include in our differentiated pay plan this year a stipend for high school level hard to fill positions. And we did that for the sake of spreading that out across a chemistry position that may be extremely hard to fill at Clinch, or a chemistry position that may be extremely hard to fill at volunteer or charity. Because high school and special needs are two areas that we have extremely hard time recruiting successful candidates for. Couple that with the fact that Clinch is a rural school, as mentioned by Tim. I think what my concern would be that you're talking about a $210,000 hit our first month of the 22-23 budget. I don't disagree with the rationale behind it. I do think that we need to look at a stipend that we have that set aside for use if needed, if we can't successfully recruit for those positions, and that's how we've attempted to tackle it using Mr. Hick's idea earlier in the budget process. So you'll see in that differentiated pay plan that you passed in this year, it has a line in there that we added that we can use a stipend for helping secure hard to fill and hard to recruit positions.
Well, I think that if you really sit down and think about it, any grade level at Clinch might be hard to fill. You know, I mean, if we had a fourth grade teacher decide to quit or retire or whatever, you might have a difficult time finding a teacher to go over there and teach the fourth grade, much less go teach French or Spanish.
Well, that's true, but the money is available. The money to spend is available.
I can read from the differentiated pay plan. You said hard-to-fill positions are compensated or will be compensated at a rate of $3,000 per position. These positions would include high school positions that are most rural schools, as well as math, special education, speech, chemistry, biology, and language. Because those are typically year to year our hardest positions. Now, we also agreed in the discussion of this that if we could find folks through regular recruitment, early and often recruitment, this is not a mandate, this is their if.
Correct. Okay.
But I still think drastic situations require drastic measures. I really do. I think that it's important to do it just to see, well, if nothing else, just to see what happens. See what the results are. Right now, we're not doing so hot. What we're trying to do to get teachers to go over there and teach in front of our kids. So my motion, I mean, that's my motion. You should vote it down. That's all you got to do. Vote it down.
Well, they haven't said how many vacancies there are. Are there any vacancies?
Got to vote on it.
I'm thinking, okay, motion on the table, we have a second, any further discussion? My gut's telling me this, you guys help me. It's not a bad idea. But I just don't see, I think there's some questions that we need to really look into. And we need to get with Melissa and see how it impacts the budget. It's not a bad idea. But, well, I would like to really do this, but I don't know if we can. Your motion, whether you're on this board or not from this point forward, your motion's still on the table. Can we table this?
Sure.
Can
You
we
can table anything.
Well, let's table this, even though,
It's fine. That's the democratic way, man.
well, no, I mean, your motion is still here.
Right.
It's not going away,
No, can't.
okay? So, at some point, we will. Now, but the procedural question, to table something does not take a board vote. Or does it?
Yep.
It does? So I would.
And it takes precedent, you have,
Yeah.
motion table cuts off the debate, you gotta vote.
Right, so I'm gonna make a motion, we table this. And have some time to work the numbers, see what's feasible for us, and then bring it back at a later time.
I'll second it.
Okay, that's my motion, we have a second, any further discussions? If none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None opposed, that motion passes. Next.
You can't just drop a $210,000 bomb on them.
New business.
What preparation?
You did. Carl was at Cherokee High
Here we
School,
go.
and he visiting all the schools in the county. I had a lot of opportunity to talk with Shannon and Mr. Gibson about some of the things that we need in our county. And one of those is maintenance. We have 15 employees, and if I'm not mistaken, Shannon, doesn't that include you and Rodney?
No, not in the 15.
Okay, we have 15 employees. Now, I'm doing my math. We have 2 motors that.
No, that doesn't include the grounds crew. We have 5 in the grounds crew.
So now we're up to 17. Now, I'm trying to go down here. That when I was at the schools, I noticed things that needed to be fixed. Other people that have been in the school system, into schools, no, into any building that Hawkins County owns needs to be fixed. Not anything without any of us, what we voted on before or what we did on. But we have 2 plumbers, correct?
Yes, a plumber.
We have 2 electricians.
2 electricians.
Do we have 1 painter?
1 painter.
Do we have, or well, he came back this week, if my information is correct. We have 1 of our maintenance people that had to stay in Clinch in order to take care of the pump, which we now have that done.
He does water and sewer.
Water and sewer over there. Don't we have 3 employees out right now?
Correct.
Okay, when you start adding that up, we've got about 5 people or 6 maintenance workers to work on all the things in our county, in our school system. So it is my recommendation, if I can't make a motion, if I can make a motion, I will make a motion that we hire 2 new maintenance employees to help fix. Is that okay? Okay. But I also know that Melissa's got to, crunch the numbers and all that stuff. But I think that would be a great idea for our maintenance programs.
Okay, that's your motion.
Yes.
My motion is for 2.
Nope, gotta get a second on that one.
I would like to table this to garner more information on what the exact cost is going to be.
You can't do that here.
You ain't got a second.
You gotta get a second first.
Somebody's got a second.
He's a stickler.
Now, my motion is to table this and let the board have an opportunity to look at the numbers, see what it's going to cost us, and know where the money's going to come from.
Well, I talked to Matt about that when we were at Cherokee, and you kind of agreed the same
Because
thing.
when we're looking at a $5.9 million deficit, and we mandated a
Say no more.
increase, I am very hesitant to bring new positions to the board. I have yet to do that since I've been here, but we're looking at such a large deficit. So
But you see the need also.
I don't dispute the need.
So we have a motion, we have a second on the tabling of your motion. Any further? Okay, please.
I seconded the motion. McClure seconded.
Oh, the table, yeah. Okay. So now we're good. No further discussion. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? None opposed, that passes. So now, brings us to what we've been looking for. When's our next meeting? September 1st at 6
Did he say September 1st?
o'clock. And we will have that meeting
First Thursday.
at church,
Wait, that's the literally day after.
at the bus shop. Yes,
Mr. Chairman, I've got one more item.
yeah. Yeah.
And I don't want to let this get away because this may be the last act that I get to do for a 4th district school.
Hang on one second. This wasn't
No, I talked to you about it.
the Lou.
Right.
Okay, yeah, it's what,
Yeah, anyway, I'm not gonna let you get back, because I won't be back. I'm not coming
Okay.
back to one of these meetings. And I won't, and I wanna I'll quickly go through this. Back in March, Dr. Krista Mann contacted me, and we went over a project, that she was very interested in, not only as a physical education tool, but also an academic tool that could be used throughout the day. She feels very comfortable that it would combat some of the chronic absenteeism. They could use it strategically in the morning to engage kids before traveling to class. They'd also like to use it to engage students kinetically. Is that the right word? With their learning, the more engaging in practices, the more engaged students are in the material. This is a high energy motivational tool to learn that promotes physical fitness. Kids need to be active learners, and this system supports student movement. Her expectations was to use Title I money to purchase this if the funds were available for this project and for its approval by the board. At that particular time that we discussed it up to, I think, May, the cost was somewhere between $20,000 and $24,000, including the installation fee. And she and I spent some time looking at all this system, and I mean, I was really impressed with it. I tell you what, I think it's something that would cause our kids to bounce off the wall control. This is from Mr. Wells, physical ed teacher. It says the LOO system offers many benefits for physical education. For one, it can often be difficult incorporating other disciplines into PE, such as math. Many times students don't like hearing that they're doing these subjects in gym class. However, LOO makes these other important disciplines more enjoyable for students in PE environment. For example, LOO offers multiplication games in which students can throw a ball at the correct answer to a math problem at LOO's projection on the wall. It can also be used to cover PE standards in a relevant way to the students. Instead of working on standards like throwing or kicking a weight, as most gym classes do, we can use technology through LOO apps to amp up the excitement and relate to the generation of our students. Another amazing benefit is the atmosphere that the LOO system can create for PE, along with other school events that take place in the gym. And I'm just going to ad-lib this instead of reading it. This system is capable of lighting the whole gym with scenes, if you will. One in particular says if you want an ocean scene, it can transform the area, even this type of an area, into an ocean scene or whatever, with some of the stuff that goes with it. With this, more that the LOO has to offer, learning will be intensified for students in PE, including other subjects like math and reading. It'll be done in a way that students can enjoy it. So we would love to have the LOO system at Sir Lawrence Middle School and lead surrounding school districts in PE school innovation. And then there are several different accolades and endorsements of the system. And this booklet that we put together, or she put together, gives you more of the highlights of all of the things that the LOO system can do. But just if everybody can see it, it sort of gives you a shot of what it does on the wall, and it's amazing. And so, Mr. Chairman, with that in mind, I would like to make a motion that we approve the purchase of this blue system for Shawanville Middle School.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a second, now we'll discussion. How much is it?
Well, we don't know. I mean, well, listen, the price that they quoted between 20 and 24,000 was good to me.
Okay,
And so now I'm sure it has increased somewhat, but those numbers wouldn't be hard to get.
okay.
Yeah, right now. I think one of the things, if nothing else, it would be a great pilot program for our other schools if it worked out to be as successful as we think it's going to be, Dr. Mann and myself. I think that it would be an asset to many of our schools also down the road.
I can't disagree with that, so I'm going to suggest that we table this, get garner more information, because I want to know how much. I would like to see it, some examples of it presented to the board. I'm sure there's some YouTube videos we can find. So my motion would be to table this for further study. We have a motion, we have a second, any further discussion on tabling? None. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? None opposed. That motion passes. Judy's got one more.
Lou, yeah.
Lou.
I mean, isn't that what they call the back?
You will get that information, will you
In
please?
France or something?
Thanks,
Thank you, ma'am. And to see that it gets to Mr. Christian. Thank you.
Okay, during our time on the school board, we saw our teachers' salaries really go up. We managed to give really, we do 2% for the certified personnel. The non-personnel also receive 2%, but their 2% is not the same as ours. They go to the grocery store and they pay the same for a loaf of bread that anybody else does. So it is my motion, as the last thing I do on the Hawkins County Board of Education, I make a motion that we give 5% to all of our non-certified personnel. That's custodians, goods, assistants,
I think so.
anybody
So you're
that may
non-certified?
State mandated.
that's
I think that's what it was.
And you know what? It's the greatest thing you can do for them, because we try to do for all.
That's a motion.
I'll second that.
We have a second. So my motion is, I'd like to table this for further consideration.
I'll second it.
Okay. Can she second?
Yes, you sure can.
So we have a motion, we have a second, any further discussion? If none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? None opposed, that motion passes.